Should a murderer go to jail for murdering?
Absolutely.
Should a thief go to jail when he steals?
Absolutely.
Should a robber pay back the money he robbed?
Absolutely.
So why shouldn't the white man pay for what he did?
That's right.
One day you'll see just how it feels. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a
I'm in a hell of a hole, was never expected to grow. Just obstacle set in the road, that a result of me selling my soul. The story I'm telling is cold, but yet it's what everyone knows. The white man's the devil is known. America was never a home, only a place of captivity, safe facility, hating, disfigure me. They claim that I'm lazy, be killing me. Maybe the slavery draining my energy. 400 years and counting. The trail of my tears is countless. Mere fact that I'm here is astounding, but I can't wait till this shit is surrounded. Ready to tangle my king and the angel, be ready to rap. Crack in the sky, nuclear missiles will make it official. I'm capturing every cracker surviving. Put them all in chains where they need to be. Slavery for me, and let the whole world see that with them in the cage and safer in the streets. Put the dog on a leash, get resolved for the beast. 144, get the ruler show, we could all be at peace. As soon as the trumpets are sound, your kingdom we busting it down. The only way justice is found, the time for your judgment is now.
One day you'll see just how it feels. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog. It's a dog.
Look, ain't no remorse in my bloodstream. It won't be no compromise. Now it's time to feed the worms. Watch his body turn to flies. I clutch iron while you trust the lies. The next Glock I buy gon' be Gen 5. I get it customized. And sending shots off like farewell. Praying payback come back around like a carousel. Still remember YAHANNA's words ringing in my head like bells. Said you in his body, you fit the Lord, fuck the cartel. Triangle choke, apply pressure to the game like I did Vondale. Payback's a bitch in a dress, she a bombshell. Revenge is served cold, I just hope they make an oxtail. Glock fresh out the box, I swear it got that new car smell. Made myself a target in a world of mad shooters. There was design fire for our babies to pass through in the day of our king's reign. I'll be overzealous. They bought my jealous, I bought brand new parabellums.
One day you'll see just how it feels. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog. It's a dog.
Pando, kill the beat.
I don't know who, somebody need to hear this. Y'all don't speak Hebrew, that's Yiddish. How the fuck you try to label us anti-Semitic? We the Israelites, blacks, native Hispanics. The Germans get locked up for the Holocaust. Meanwhile, black people still up in the Holocaust. 100 million of us died in the transatlantic. 6 million died. Y'all want the world to never forget it. You can never be a Jew. You a Ashkenaz. This ain't a star dum-dum, a gun that would die. Yeah, Yeezy told the truth and got ostracized. Not one person in the Bible had on the yarmulke. We were slaves in America like we was in Egypt. Y'all don't even fit the curses in the Torah neither. Y'all was blind to the truth. I had to make it clear how Jerusalem, your land, your people came from Europe. That was 1947. Your menorah got 9 sticks. It's really only 7. Yeah, it's us against the world, Armageddon. This what happened when you inherit lies from your ancestors. Y'all the synagogue of Satan with them black hats. Your whole nation sitting ducks, Aflacs. Bunch of thieves and culture vultures, ain't nothing kosher. To tell the truth, you vagabonds don't have a culture. Macedonia, Alexander, and Philip, you a convert, so tell me, how the fuck is you Israel? That don't make you the people just cause you live there. Why my people can't hate your people like y'all hate Hitler? All the prophets was black and was called nigga. Y'all don't even fit the description that's in the scriptures. Abraham, all the way down to Jacob, we the real Jews. Y'all don't study Christ, y'all follow the Talmud. Keep it real, yeah, let's keep it real. Cold hard truth, it give you chills. Say y'all Jew-ish cause y'all ain't really them. About to do them like Hammond, it's the Feast of Purim. U.P.K undefeated, this an easy win. We was born fighting, y'all the evil twin. Jacob took hold of his heel, then out came his little red bastard, they kosher deals. It's only 12 tribes, y'all trying to make it 13. Esau despised his birthright, the Lord cursed him. He ain't the devil who is, I'm still searching. Ask your rabbi, why he give them babies herpes? I don't know what's worse, that or you claiming that you a Maccabee. I'm about to cancel, everybody trying to cancel ye. I ain't afraid to speak, that's what I do. They riding to the core, I'm just judging them by their fruit. Cause they ain't suffering curses. If I was carnal, I promise I'd punch you in person. I know this an uncomfortable subject. They making millions off our culture and black people suffering from it. Yeah, they don't believe in Christ. They the Antichrist. Make a living off of niggas. They're a parasite. I ain't afraid to tell the truth. Niggas terrified. I'm about to go DEFCON 4. I ain't satisfied.
That is proof. That is absolute proof that they know we are the real Jews. That's absolute proof. Now you got the records. Go find me a white Jew on any archaeology in Egypt anywhere. You will never find a piece of archaeology with white people as slaves in Egypt. So don't tell me that they were slaves and it's their identity, and they know it. And I know a blasphemy of them, but they are Jews. The Lord knows the blasphemy of you so-called white people that say you are Jews and you are not Jews. You are not the people of the law. You are not God's chosen people. God's chosen people are living in the ghettos of America. God's chosen people are in poverty and depression in the streets of America. God's chosen people are walking around in America with no identity. That's where God's chosen people are.
So special.
This shit is endless. What I speak is the truth. I don't care if it's offensive. 12 rounds hit hard, and this shit gon' go the distance. Way to exit cool, but wait till you see the interest. Know that we them niggas when we walk inside the entrance. Put me as the GOAT, you should be honored to get a mention. All my clips is standard, but I still get extensions. Switch on the big 30, sound like when it's spitting. Album so high, I had to give them an extension. One West till they bury me. Yeah, that's the commitment. Don't trust the soul, niggas purring or they hissing. And when it's so much, they didn't think I put the fix in. Get the game to go my way, they gon' thinking that I rigged it. If I say it in my raps, I would do it or I lived it. What you say in your raps is entertainment, you just kidding. Hard times, I got tired of being broke, so I fixed it. This pole get the job done. Nigga, this is stick shit. What I speak is the truth, I don't care if it's offensive. The life that I chose, no turning back, we in this. They don't understand till we tell them no forgiveness. Rain on them, 40 days, 40 nights, shit is endless. What I speak is the truth, I don't care if it's offensive. This the life that we chose, no turning back, we in this. They don't understand when we tell them no forgiveness. Rain on them, 40 days, 40 nights, this shit is believe in reincarnation, so you know this endless. I'm solidified and stamped, that's why I walk with a signet. Build it from the ground up, did it all independent. Don't put your head in my business, to the wall I'm appended. They say I walk around like I'm perfect, bitch, I'm sinless, blameless. And if you ain't the same, I'm against it. Was born with this shit, the other half, I'm just gifted. 20 on me, wish a nigga would so I could spend it. Start from the branch, then I ain't at the soil. Got a pair on me, that'll leave your family tree spoil you. Can't catch you, then I get your man, make him loyal. The only comp is me, and I'm trying to be cordial. I feel like I'm royal, interchangeable of mine. I love a 10 with a sexy walk, but I take a switch with a 9. Gear up and go crazy when they tell me it's time. Empty the whole clip to the last shot like the game. What I speak is the truth. I don't care if it's offensive. The life that I chose, no turning back. We in this. They don't understand till we tell them no forgiveness. Rain on them 40 days, 40 nights. Shit is endless. What I speak is the truth. I don't care if it's offensive. This the life that we chose, no turning back. We in this. They don't understand when we tell them no forgiveness. Rain on them 40 days, 40 nights. This shit is endless.
Yeah, those are messed up, no. Bad news is to beat your home, nigga. Yeah. Go on, get on that ass real quick one time. 144, baby.
Run that shit up, Trey.
They said you get on, you gon' represent. I said, of course. Soon as they crank that beat, I ride that bitch just like a horse. She about to go dumb, yeah, bitch, me whole car. You ain't know they call me Obi-Wan. I go with the force. You gon' ride, yeah, of course. Get it lit up like a torch. You either low or this Lord. Told that bitch is either or. Yeah, I know them niggas ain't cut like that. I swear I'm to our core. Wait up, let me make a call right quick. I'ma start another war. I was hurting when she left, but I don't care about any part. I need a Vaseline like my Nina Puffer bar. Took a Zoc, watch the dark. Matter of fact, like the dark. Any problem, let them come. We gon' snatch they soul like Shang Tsung. Put them out of service, keep them tools like Miss Hopper free. Try to hope it's way too late. I'm headed straight to the safe. Throw that one up like a trophy. I'm that nigga, ain't no debate. Throw them boys, we taking notes. Call them up like set the date. This shit a piece of cake. Yeah, my bitches came from Whole Foods. Told them put on that top 3. Then bring me my house shoes. Don't make excuses, make moves. These niggas ungrateful, gotta show them U.P.K rules. I make hits like I can't lose. They said you get on, you gon' represent. I said of course. Soon as they crank that beat, I ride that bitch just like a horse. She about to go dumb, yeah, bitch, the whole part. You ain't know they call me Obi-Wan. I come with the fart. You gon' ride, yeah, of course. Get it lit up like a torch. You either low or this Lord. Told that bitch is either or. Yeah, I know them niggas ain't cut like that. I swear I'm to our core. Yeah, I just got off the call. I'ma start another war. Spit a plate up with my niggas. Get your knife and your fork. They ain't locked in with the count and when you speaking to me fart. Yeah, I just took the floor. Ain't no cowards in my campaign. They can't stop the campaign. Tell them bring the champagne. They know I'm a champion. They can see the outcome. Get them niggas bad, got them tied down and outdone. You can't do with them steppers. Niggas been down since day one. We run up the bands, bitch, like Dylan. They say you get on, you gon' represent. I said, of course. Soon as they crank that beat, I read that bitch just like a horse. Yeah, about to go dumb, yeah, bitch, we whole start. You ain't know they call me Obi-Wan. I come with the force. You gon' ride, yeah, of course. Get it lit up like a torch. You either low or this low. Told that bitch is either or. I told you niggas, you ain't cut like that. I swear I'm to our car. And I just made it call. We gon' start another war. Yeah.
Check. Clap it up. Shalom, Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shah Barakatah, to my brothers, Yahweh Shamar Alatah Bahashim Yahweh Shah, to all my sisters. I'm preaching offers of 1,000, Bon Kayal, coming out of Fayetteville, North Carolina. And this is the Israelite School, Universal Practical Knowledge, coming out of 1 West, 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commanding General YAHANNA. And tonight is the Monday night history class. Shalom Shkatah. What we do on Monday nights in typical U.P.K fashion is go into the history. You hear that? The read Most High in Christ the water. What we normally do on Monday nights is go into the history, biblical history. You know, the history of God's chosen people, man. We go into the history of our ancestors, the history of our forefathers, the history of our culture, the history of our traditions, the traditions of the Most High Power gave us as a separate nation of people, being blacks, so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. All right. So in the I.S.U.P.K, we don't depend upon massa to give us 28 days, 29 days in a leap year to talk about Black history or to embrace our own. We do that every day in the UPK. We focus on us and us alone. Obviously, we have to study the other nations and what they've done to us over the course of time. It helps us gain a better understanding and grasp on what to do today in real time. All right. So if you can, brother, give me the book of Deuteronomy 32:7. I'm gonna make sure we're going live on the Facebook. Yeah. Yeah. Hold on. Yeah, go ahead and write that down.
Brother Reggie checking in.
Most High Christ.
Shout out to Brother Reggie. Long time no see, brother. Hope you're doing well, man.
Damn right.
Big shout out to Sister Arba in the building.
Most High Christ.
Sister Maya in the building.
Most High Christ.
Officer 500 I.S.U.P.K in the building. Sister Kalaya Pa in the building.
Shout out to Officer I.S.U.P.K.
Yeah,
Sister Kalaya Pa. And working, Sister Kalaya, give her a special hand, man. Salakia. My sister been doing the food pickups, man. Assisting with the food program here in North Carolina, man. Officer Zion's house. You know what I'm saying? The brother's a strong man, you know. I'm trying to put my rib to work, you know, in the spirit of the Lord. It's a beautiful thing. That's an honorable thing. And I'm grateful for sisters like Sister Kalaya Pa and Sister Ira Ba, you know, that put in so much work behind the scenes, you know.
That's right.
They don't, sisters in the world couldn't hold water to sisters in this truth, man. Couldn't hold water to y'all. And I'm grateful to have you as my sisters, man. You know, I wouldn't trade you for the world. But beyond that, like I said, tonight is Monday night, and it's our history class. Let me change the privacy on here. Salakia. I don't know why we got to do this all the time. Yeah, Most High in Christ, 32:7.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 32 and verse 7. Remember the days of old. Consider the years of many generations. Ask thy father, and he will show thee. Thy elders, and they will tell thee.
Most High in Christ. So in the book of Deuteronomy, we know this is being Moses' book, right? One of Moses' books, one of the first 5, the Pentateuch and the Torah, right? It says to remember the days of old. You got to understand, people say that the Bible is an acronym, Bible is an acronym for basic instructions before leaving earth. But knowing that, nobody actually practically applies anything that is denoted in these scriptures to their life. They don't apply what Moses laid down, you know, in practice. It's just like the Old Testament and the law and, you know, the customs and traditions that were set up in the Old Testament. That stuff has been done away with. It's been thrown away. It's been cast away as garbage, as rubbish. And the people that have told you to do this primarily are those Christian pastors, man. The Christian church is primarily responsible for our people throwing the laws away. They say the laws were done away with. The laws were nailed to the cross with Christ. We don't got to keep none of the laws. That's the Old Testament. And that's a goddamn lie, all right? It's Salakia for my language, but it's the absolute truth. You know, the pastors are Christian pastors primarily are responsible for downtrodden the laws of God, which is reflective of our people in every way. You know, we are a people that are stubborn and stiff-necked, and we're a people right now, most of us are living like Gentiles. We're living like the heathens that are round about us. Most of us don't know our way up from down, man. We don't know whether to go left or right because we don't have true direction. We haven't remembered the days of old. We haven't thought about what made Abraham, Isaac, Jacob special in the sight of the Lord. We didn't hold true to keeping these laws, statutes, and commandments like our forefathers did, like David did, being a man after the Lord's own heart. We didn't do that thing that Noah did in being obedient in the face of a world that was wicked, meaning that the world, the earth, the whole world was morally bad and evil. Everybody doing their own damn thing, thinking that they know better than thus saith the Lord. Right. And they look at us like we strange. And we got the spirit of Noah on us in the I.S.U.P.K. We got the spirit of knowing that one day it's going to rain. All right. We understand that here. But It says to remember the days of old. We have to remember those days. We got to remember all the sacrifices that were made by our people. If you so-called Black, Hispanic, or Native Indian, you got to understand, man, we are one blood-related nation, one family. Our name is YAHANNA or Israel, okay? YAHANNA is what we would call ourselves in the Hebrew. We got to get back to speaking our language. We have our own native tongue. You know, that's one of the main ways that you can determine a nation of people is that they have their own separate language. And we have our own separate language, and it's called the Lashawan Quadash, you know, or the Holy Tongue. And we've been in church our whole lives, and we don't even understand what the term holy means. Holy just means separate. It just means separate. And that's what we are as a nation of people. We speak a separate tongue. I watched a snippet the other day on a reel, and the brother was like, man, I just realized that, you know, Black talk is the absolute opposite of white talk. And he was like, he started going in, you know. He was like, help me out, Kawal, because I don't have a good memory when it comes down to this sort of thing. But he was like, a white person will say, that's good. You know, and we were like, oh no, she bad. You know what I'm saying? Which makes it sound even better though. You know, we put a little bit more sauce on the things that we do and the things that we say. You know, we have the Spirit of the Lord, you know, running through our veins, man. We have the bloodline of kings running through our veins. Right. You know, he's like, man, I wish I could pull the joint up. But just think about anything you think of anything that the so-called oppressor would say, you know, like, oh, that's cool. And we say, oh no, that's hot. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, man, this is kind of crazy. The examples that he was using, you know. Anyhow, we got to remember the days of old, and we have to consider the years of many generations, meaning we got to consider what our ancestors went through in order for us to be where we are at this point in time, all right? The sacrifices that were made, the blood that was shed, the blood that was spilled, the innocent blood that was spilled, the lives that were lost, man. More so, you got to think about the generations to come, our children, our children's children. What are we setting up for our future generations? Because Jay-Z wants you to believe that what? Financial freedom is your only help. Jay-Z is a capitalist. His belief is in that almighty dollar. Right. He worships mammon, like the so-called oppressor. Okay? If you so-called Black, Hispanic, or Native Indian, how has that worked for you? That hasn't worked out for you. You know, we're striving to be like the oppressor in every way. And we're not supposed to be anything like him because we are separate. We're holy. All right? So we got to remember the days of old and consider the years of many generations. We're supposed to be able to go to our fathers and ask them about our history, about, you know, where we come from and our customs, our traditions. But where are our fathers? Most of them are what? Locked up or been unalived. You talk about mass incarceration. Most of them been ran out of the house because you got some damn dragon for a mother. That's why you didn't grow up with your father in the household, because you had some dumb broad ruling over the house because of her feelings and her emotions. You know, we're supposed to be able to ask our father so that we could get good, sound guidance, good, sound counsel. All right, righteous counsel. Yeah, let me play that video real quick, Baba Kasha. I pulled them, you know what I'm saying? Might as well go ahead and share the video with the folks.
I heard someone say that Black slang is just white slang in reverse, and I've never been able to stop thinking about it. I'm up for it. I'm down. Wow, she looks really good. She looked bad. That's cool. That's hot. That was real smooth. That was tough. Let's roll. Let's bounce.
Most High Christ, the water that, brother. You know what I'm saying? But it gives you something to think about, you know? We did the complete opposite of what the oppressor did or does. You know, we have to change the way that we think. Everything that we do, you know, everything that, unless you're in the I.S.U.P.K, because we've completely turned our back on society when it comes down to keeping the traditions of mainstream America, keeping the traditions of modern society. The things that you believe as being good and pure, we look at them with disgust. And we look at them in a shameful manner because many of us did those things. All right. But we haven't cast society away when it comes down to so-called other Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. We're here as an example to show you that you can change too. You see any brother in the UPK, you know who that brother was before he became that new creature, that new being. You could do the same thing. You can make the same transformation. You can actually be better, man. But it starts with you swallowing your pride, pause. It starts with you coming out of those churches. It starts with you stop celebrating what? All the so-called oppressors' holidays. Stop worshiping yourself. Stop celebrating your birthday. Change your diet. Real simple. Stop eating pork, shrimp, crab, lobster. Recognize when the Sabbath is. You go to church on Sunday worshiping the sun, literally. That's your God, you know, but it don't have to be. All right, you can come in here and learn what our ancestors did that set them apart, that made them holy in the sight of the Lord. All right. And then it said to what? Ask thy father, and he will shew thee.
That's right.
Thy elders, and they will tell thee, every last one of our elders.
Right.
You know, when it comes down to Black people having conversations, you know, within a Black space, oh, you think every so-called Negro was a racist. You think that we were absolute prejudice in the way that we speak, in the way that we look at the world. But I know better than that. I know that we've given nothing but our love to the other nations. We've given nothing but our absolute everything to the so-called oppressor. And he hasn't done the same. He hasn't reciprocated any type of love or any type of compassion or empathy toward us. But you ask your grandma and them who the devil is, and they will tell you that the so-called oppressor has been that to them. They'll tell you that. The so-called Hispanics will let you know who El Diablo is. They know. But when you get into the, you know, the office, or you get into, you know, these spaces of higher learning, like these universities, you start playing on these sports teams, all of that goes out the window. You don't recognize the oppressor as being the devil that the Bible speaks of. Right. You recognize him as being what? Your brother. You recognize him as being your brother or your sister or your friend, your colleague, your teammate, your church member. That's the main place where that lie about all nations coming together is told. That's where it's taught. It's taught in the churches. But this Bible is a book of division. This Bible is a book about the Israelites, which are the so-called Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. All right. And we got to understand that this Bible is about us. This Bible is for us. This is our Constitution. This is our playbook. This is the paradigm by which we're supposed to live our lives as so-called Negroes, so-called Latinos, and so-called Native Americans, man. And there is no other way. This is the only way for so-called Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, or God's chosen people. All right. All right. Drop that. We're going to get into a few different topics this evening. You know, I wanted to get into leadership within the Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian community. You know, and when we talk about leadership, you know, who is leading? Who do we look to lead us? Historically, you know, when you think about everyone they prop up, especially during this time of the year in America, who do they promote as being role models, good role models that you should follow in their footsteps? Who was promoted by the church? Who was promoted by the school curriculums? Who was promoted at your slaveries? Who are they promoting?
Slagia. You talk as far as Black folks?
Yeah, for Black folks and Hispanic people and Native Indian people to follow.
Martin Luther King.
Yeah, Martin Luther King Jr.
George Lopez for the Hispanics. You know, Jay-Z.
Yes. Yes.
Madea.
A man in a dress.
Yep.
Tyler Perry,
Benjamin Crump, Al Sharpton. What's the Negro name? The other one, Jesse Jackson. He's still alive?
Yeah, Jesse's still around.
Jesse.
Messy Jesse, he's still out there. Yeah. He holding on for dear life.
Been awful quiet lately.
He been awful quiet. I read something disgusting about Jesse Jackson, and when Martin Luther the King Jr. was assassinated or unalived, the shirt that Jesse Jackson had on, he intentionally got Martin Luther King's blood on it, and then he went back to Atlanta just to do an interview with the same shirt that, just for clout, to do the interview in the shirt that had his brother's blood in it. If one of these brothers, God forbid, if something like that were to happen to us, man, I'd be too shaken up to do an interview with anyone, because I'd be too concerned about my brother and the tragic way that he lost his life. I'd be too concerned about his family. I'd be grieving because I actually love the brothers that are around me, and we prove that with our actions. It ain't lip service like what Jesse Jackson and Abernathy, all those people that were around Martin Luther King, they didn't actually really love him. Okay? But in the I.S.U.P.K, you learn the value of real brotherhood, man. And it's about your actions. It's about the things that you do. That's what love is. Love is a verb. It ain't about, some feeling you get in your stomach, butterflies and, fluttering in your chest. That's not what love is, man. In here we learn that love is correction. All right. So you're going to get a brother that's going to check you when you're not walking circumspect to, these law, statutes, and commandments. All right. It's very, very important that we learn these things. All right. But yeah, that's who they promote. They promote Martin Luther King. They promote Jesse Jackson and Al Sharpton and Jay-Z. And you think about white society, primarily, they promote the most wicked and evil examples for us to follow. And so based off of how we're depicted in the media, how we're depicted in entertainment, in music, the type of music that they say is black music. Candace Owens, you say what you will about Candace Owens, all right? She is a bad wench. She's sleeping with the oppressor. Right. But that sister, I was impressed with her ability to do research. When it came down to, her seeing Sexy Red twerking, my sister Sexy Red twerking, doing a split, 5-6 months pregnant on stage. Candace Owens was disgusted, right? She wanted to know who in the hell is putting the bag behind her to do this. Yeah. So she went and she did the research on the machine that is promoting artists like Sexy Red and it's my girl out of the Bronx. YAHANNA and Cardi B and Meg Thee Stallion. All my sisters is whores? I don't think so. Yeah. Good night. Ice Spice too, right? Nicki Minaj, who ain't even really a sister. She's East Indian, right? But they give these women, our sisters, a platform to dishonor themselves for the sake of riches, for the sake of fame, for the sake of notoriety. But that's in the sight of men. We're not talking about in the sight of the Lord. That's what we should be focused on. If you black, Hispanic, or Native Indian, you got to know where your strength comes from, where your power comes from. All good things come from where? The Most High power. Right. But if you're at variance with the Most High power, you can't expect to, render any of those good things. You can't expect to reap a harvest of good fruit. That's why you see they're promoting evil and wickedness and lasciviousness amongst our people. And shout out to Officer Awabad. He just posted a reel about the little sister I don't even know what that was. It was like a bodysuit she was in at a birthday party, man. Tugging on some little boy, hugging all over the little boy like it's her man or something. And then they both fall and she hit her head on the floor or whatever. And then the brother decides, okay, that's when he's going to pick her up. But the damage is already done. Psychologically, that little girl has been traumatized by the examples that she sees on television. You got to understand that you have a certain amount of power if you so-called Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian. If you got children, you have a certain level of influence. I had a Negro tell me today, like, you don't have any influence. And I'm looking at him like, are you dumb? Are you a dummy? I have more influence than you think. Nobody listening to you. Nobody's following what you're doing. But he was talking about with respect to Jay-Z. So I couldn't really hold it. I couldn't hold his feet to the fire. I understood what he meant by that. You know, when you think about Jay-Z, our people looked at Jay-Z as a leader. But General Muhammad just taught a class about weak leadership and how we look to rappers and actors and athletes to lead us, man. And we're failing because of that, because we put all of our hopes and our dreams and all of our energy into following these people that don't, it's like the blind leading the blind. They don't know the way. But here in the I.S.U.P.K, under the Most High in Christ, under Commander General YAHANNA, we know the way. We know the way. And we're pointing our people, leading our people back to that way. All right? All right. So let's see. Go to Isaiah 46 and 9. Let's go to Isaiah 46 and 9, if you can. Since we're going into, you know, just remembering the days of old, being reflective. We got to be we're supposed to be a thoughtful people. You know, nobody's giving any thought to what they're doing and how it's affecting them spiritually or how it's affecting the people around them, their children. You know, you think about all the things that my sister Sexy Red is doing and how that baby that's being molded inside of her, how it's affecting that baby, how that baby's, you know, neurological development and, you know, psychological development and emotional development, you know, how that's affecting its gene sequence, the things that she's putting in her body, you know, the things that she's reading, the things that she's ingesting. You can ingest things beyond just putting it in your mouth, pause, eating, you know, the things that you consume by entertainment. What are you listening to? What are you watching? You know? You think about the things that the sister is probably being exposed to. And it's probably nothing I would want my children to be exposed to. You listen to the music that she's making. She's in the studio saying, what'd she say? Bust it open for me and Drake? Mm-hmm. Anyhow. You're a wild boy.
This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 46, verse 9.
Good night.
Remember the former things of old, for I am the Most High.
I am who?
The Most High.
The Most High power said, remember the former things of old, right? The old days, the days of antiquity. We should be reflecting on those days. We should be reflecting on who Christ actually was and what he did while he was on this earth. We should be reflecting, like I said before, of Abraham. What did Abraham do? How was he walking on the earth or throughout the earth with Sarah or Sarai? How were they moving in the earth, man? We just disregard those things. You know, we cast them away like they mean nothing. And that's what your pastor's doing when he says, oh no, that's the Old Testament. He has literally taken the honor from this book. He has discredited Abraham and Isaac and Jacob. He's completely discredited them when he tells you to focus solely on the New Testament. And it's so disgusting because we wouldn't have a New Testament if we didn't have the Old. How do you go from the Old to the New? You got to have the Old Testament. That's what Christ was teaching. Christ was teaching what Moses laid down. He was teaching about Abraham and Isaac and Jacob and Isaiah. He was teaching all these things about the prophets that came before him. We can get into Matthew, 5 and 17, and it talks about that. You know, thinking not, you know, that I have come to destroy the law nor the prophets, is what Christ said. Anyhow, Keep reading.
Come. For I am the Most High, and there is none else. I am the Most High, and there is none like me.
That's right. Remember the former things of old. For I am God. I am the power. And there is none else. There is no other power. The oppressor wants us to focus on, polytheism, or the worship of many gods. This is the reason why every holiday at its core is the worship of another separate God. What are they about to celebrate now? Valentine's Day is coming up next week. You're going to be worshiping the God of the ancient Romans. You're going to be worshiping the God of the so-called oppressor, man. What is it? Lupercalia? Some people say Lupercalia. Some people say Lupercalia. Go ahead, Ottawa. Salakia.
Salakia, I was about to say, when you think about like the things we've been through as a generation of people, we soon forget what, what that thing looks like your great grandfather could have went to, or your grandfather, or your grandmother. And today it's all about fun. It's all about what we can consume to make us feel good. You understand?
Right.
That's what this is about. You talk about the Bible. The Lord is saying, hey, y'all remember this, right? You talk about the generations, and today the earth doesn't remember its grandfathers. You know what I'm saying? They don't look at it like that.
Right.
The oppressor don't look at it. He's so greedy. So he'll show you the videos about World War I and II in color. This is a new phase, and how they conquered the air, and all these new old movies that they remaking, right?
Right.
But they give us images of false idols that don't necessarily represent anything for us as good, as to why they pushing things like the color purple. Mm-hmm. That was the big thing that came out, right?
Right.
And what else? They were also pushing what's the joint that they just released? They talking about releasing the Bob Marley story.
Right.
They released the brother for the Martin Luther King.
Right. I know you're talking about
Rusted.
Rusted.
See, these are the things that they released for us to watch. But when you look at the thing that they released for their generations to watch, it's about conquering and rulership.
Uh-huh.
And us, they show us servitude. You understand? And giving over our spirit to a dirty bastard.
Right.
That's what we forced to watch. That's what our legacy looks like. And that's what they put in front of us. So when our children see it, they have to actively seek out things that make them know what strength is. And that's why we have to continue to push the U.P.K, man. So our children can see that. Guess what? That was a generation in the earth that been here since 1969 pushing this truth, man. You understand?
That's right.
Go ahead, brother. Salak.
No, you damn right, Ottawa. You're right about that. Give him a hand. Those are perfect examples. Go ahead.
Sister Anaya said all of our movies are about struggle. It's a fact.
Yeah, I'm right. She's absolutely right. All of our movies are about struggle. It's about struggle, and they paint us in the worst light ever. You talk about negative caricatures and stereotypes. You got actors that are typecast to just be gangsters. You got actors that are typecast to just be to play lascivious parts. I think about when was coming up. I loved her, Rosie Perez. Oh man, I love the way she talked and all of that. Being a so-called Ephraimite or Puerto Rican, right? But they always put her in these positions of these very questionable, lascivious positions. And then in what was it, Do the Right Thing? She was naked in the movie, and I was like, "What? This is wild. This is wild to me." And then White Man Can't Jump. She's sleeping with Billy Hoyle, with Woody Harrelson, right? And it's like they turn our sisters into bed wenches, But Sister Naya, she's right. She's absolutely right. I'm tired of seeing our people struggling, man. I don't even want to see it. And that brings me to my next point. When it comes down to, weak leadership, I know we weren't going to really talk about it. I know the general's going to go in on this tonight. I'm sure General Mahim is going in on it right now. But I was talking about this before class today, like with the whole Killer Mike thing. Was it staged, or was it like a publicity stunt with him getting locked up, or him getting arrested? Or I would just say he was in handcuffs being escorted out of the venue, okay? And my thing is like on that platform, which is a very white platform, all right? People were so-called boycotting that platform because of its lack in diversity, its lack in inclusion as far as Black and Hispanic. We're really just Black. When we say Black, we're talking Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian, okay? But the lack thereof as far as representation of our people. But when you do see us on that screen, on that platform, the last thing you want to see is a Black man being escorted out of the goddamn venue in handcuffs. You think about that. And he just won, what, three Grammys? So, I mean, did he really win? And then I'm wondering, like, what the hell was what was the message? Because I don't get it. I don't get it at all. You know, what kind of paradox is he trying to push? You know, the rappers think they deep with all them double entendres. You know, I don't get it. I'm not understanding why you would allow yourself to be arrested, you know, or why they had to actually show that, you know, during that showing. But I mean, most Black people ain't watching the damn Grammys. That's so-called the oppressor is watching the Grammys. So when they see us, what are they going to see? Criminals. When they see us, they're going to see what? Oh, these people, they don't know how to act. They can't even come to the Grammys and behave themselves. So they're absolute animals. And this is the reason why the police brutalize us the way that they do. This is the reason why we don't get treated with any type of respect, is because of people like, you know, the examples that we see that we're supposed to look at as leaders. You know, Killer Mike couldn't lead me to a damn buffet. All right. Anyhow, you know, let's go to Micah 2:10.
This is the book of Micah, chapter 2 and verse 10. Arise ye and depart, for this is not your rest.
You so-called Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian, the time now is for us to rise up, man. You know, and what I mean by that is we're in a very low state. We are literally the walking dead in this place. There is no life to our existence unless you're in the I.S.U.P.K, you know, and we speak life in these classrooms every day. You're not getting, they're not speaking life in these churches, all right? What I mean by that is through these law, statutes, and commandments. You know, the law has a way of turning the man into a quickening spirit, a soul into a quickening spirit, all right? That's how you become alive, is through keeping these law, statutes, and commandments. But if the church has done away with them, it's not teaching you these things. What are they teaching you? They're teaching you death. They're not teaching you anything that's going to be beneficial to your survival or to you existing. All right? Arise ye and depart. So we're supposed to rise up, wake the hell up, come from out of that slumber, from out of that drug-induced stupor that most of us are in, because they're promoting what? Popping pills and smoking weed and sucking down hookah and just being damn drug addicts. How many more of our entertainers have to die from a fentanyl overdose? How many more? We lost DMX. We lost, it's too many to name. Entirely too many to name, you know? Anyhow, says to arise ye and depart. Once we wake up, we got to depart from that culture, from those customs, from those ways, from those behaviors, from those habits. We got to let them go, all right? Arise ye and depart, for this is not your rest. We are too comfortable here. We have gotten too comfortable in America, man. We don't even recognize and realize that we're behind enemy lines. This is the oppressor's kingdom. Right. This is his empire. He pushed our Native Indian brothers off the land, brought us from our captivity in Africa, brought us across the Middle Passage, put us in further captivity. Just surviving the horrors of the Middle Passage alone in itself is disgusting, man. You know, but it speaks volumes about who we are as being survivors. and then put us on the land that he pushed our native Indian brothers off of to build up his treasure cities, his communities that he wouldn't allow us to live in. So we had to build up the White House. We had to build up, you know, you think about any other governor, the governor's mansion here in North Carolina was built by slave labor. But do you think that house that we built up, we got to enjoy it? Every brick that we laid, we didn't get to enjoy any of the fruit of us building those houses. Outside of driving by them and pointing at them and saying, look, I built that. I had a hand in building that. What's the value in that? Anyhow, arise ye and depart, for this is not your rest. Stop being so damn comfortable because you got a little money. You might have a house, a car, what have you. You're not even thinking about your brother or your sister.
Right.
You can give a damn about what's happening at the border with our brothers and sisters having to use cardboard to place between them and the concertina wire that's going to rip their back up or their children's backs up, all for the sake of them having an opportunity at a better life here in America, man. I say this to my brothers and sisters, don't believe the hype. America is not all cracked up to be what they promote themselves to be.
Right.
All right, this is absolute hell here in America. You acting like, now don't get me wrong, I know a lot of our people coming from what Donald Trump would say, S-hole countries, right? But they're only that way because of the so-called oppressor being in those lands, creating civil unrest in those lands, pulling out all the natural resources from those lands and starving the people in those lands, allowing gangs to run rampant in those lands. And those people that are striving to be righteous, they're going to flee. They're going to become political refugees seeking asylum at the southern border of Texas. You know, you got Governor Abbott and people like Mike DeSantis that are against the government, and they're promoting them laying down more concertina wire, man.
Right.
And the federal government said that you can't put no more of that concertina wire down there. Matter of fact, take that wire up because it's unconstitutional. It is a crime against humanity to do that. That is your right for you to be able to seek asylum elsewhere. The so-called oppressor is the one that set these borders up, man. In America, he's literally the illegal alien. He's the foreigner, all right? Not those brothers and sisters that are coming here with the hopes of a better life. It said, arise ye and depart, for this is not your rest. Because it is what?
Because it is polluted.
Because it's polluted, man. It's polluted with what?
Because it is polluted.
Polluted with what? Think about the things that, you know, I grew up watching Captain Planet. And they would always show, like, you know, the Amazon, the rainforest down in South America, and they got some greedy, you know, developer cutting down all the trees. You see the birds and everything that lives in the trees, the monkeys and any tree-dwelling, you know, animal getting displaced. And then they show the rainforest on fire, burning, and they call that pollution. This is a different type of pollution. You think about the land being polluted, what's running rampant in our communities? If you Black, Hispanic, or Native Indian, you think about where you live. You think about how much better that space could be without the things that's polluting your existence. Like the drug dealer on your corner, pushing that poison that he got from the oppressor. Like those gangs within our communities, shooting up every damn thing. Where did they get the guns? We don't own no boats. We don't own no planes. We don't own no trains to transport these things. You think about the ghetto or the projects, man. and how drug infested those spaces can be. You think about how we don't have access to clean running water, drinking water. You can't even drink the water that comes out of the faucet that they charge you for. Imagine that. You talk about pollution. Why is the waterways polluted? Why? Because you had some developer using lead pipes, cutting corners, or you got some damn multi-billion-dollar conglomerate establishing factories, and the refuse from their factories, they push into the waterways. So now you don't have access to clean running water. How many of y'all see the commercials where they got the class action lawsuit against Jacksonville, against the U.S. military? Say if you lived in Jacksonville, North Carolina between these years because of fuel being leaked into the water, yeah, you got methyl. Yeah, you got methyl. What you say? Methylsemoloma. Tow it up, man. Yeah, they linked it to all sorts of different cancers, and I was like, man, they just running it off the list. Prostate cancer, breast cancer. You know, you got cancer of the liver. I'm like, good night. This is ridiculous. Mesothelioma. There it is. Mesothelioma. Whatever the hell that is, I don't want it. But because the land is polluted, brothers and sisters got to learn that word. This is why it's very, very important for you to come in here, man. All right? That's the departing. You depart when you come in here, put on all black, and sit at the feet of the prophets and learn these breakdowns, learn these laws, learn to keep the high holy days and the feast days. All right? I had to come in here and learn what water to drink. The whole time I'm thinking I'm getting, top dollar water. I'm drinking Aquafina and Dasani. The brother here told me, nah, you don't want that. You need to drink natural spring water. So the water that I hated the most was the water that was promoted. That was the water that was best for me. That Deer Park. What's the one you like? Deer Park, and there's another one you had. The core, what is it? Yeah, all them different types of waters, man. We don't even look. That's oppression. We're dealing with real pollution where you can't even drink the damn water that you got to pay a bill on. It's ridiculous, man. All right, keep reading.
Kind of what come. This is the book of Micah, chapter 2, verse 10. Arise ye and depart, for this is not your rest.
Right.
Because it is polluted, it shall destroy you, even with a sore destruction.
That's right. It shall destroy you, even with a sore destruction. So Sister Maya was talking about, how, we're portrayed in the movies, in the entertainment. That's a form of pollution. You think about some of the movies, they got that meme going around, movies that you find in every black household. What are some of the movies that you find in every black household?
Color Purple.
Oh, Wicked and Evil. Yep. Minister Wicked and Evil.
Friday, Roots.
Oh, Friday, Wicked and Disgusting.
Wait Till Exhale.
Oh, that was a terrible one there. I hate Wait to Exhale.
What's Love got to do with it? Stella got a groove back.
Those are cult classics in every black, Hispanic, and Hispanic household. But why? Why do we like those movies so much? Yeah, that was a trip. Lord have mercy. Is it Dirty Dancing? Was it that wasn't Kurt Russell, was it? Yeah, it was a trip. Oh, Like Mike? No, not Like Mike. That's is it? Oh man, good night. I don't even know, bro. I'm thinking that's Bow Wow hooping. You know what I'm saying? Good night. Man, I don't think nobody in here seen that. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, our ribs watching that craziness, man. Good night. Even just the previews is disgusting. So nobody want to see that. All the moves look stiff anyway. It's ridiculous, man. That's what is polluted. That's what's polluting, you know, our existence, man. Living here in America, where they set these laws up that are literally here not to protect us. These laws subjugate us, man, and put us in a very low state. Go ahead, Ottawa.
I was about to say that it's basically noise pollution, if I may.
Yeah,
you
it
understand?
is.
And then we talk about what we've seen on national television. We just seen violence against brother on brother with Will Smith and Chris Rock.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That was publicized. And now you got another brother that's out of the blue get rewarded, and he walks off the stage in handcuffs. I mean, he ended up in handcuffs tonight. So even at our highest, they choose to you know what I'm saying, make an example out of us, and then they publicize it through everything. And I seen what Jeremy Hyman brought up on his TikTok earlier. He was talking about how Jay-Z chose to use his platform to get up there and talk about how his wife did not receive, you know, album of the year.
Right.
But yet and still, you know, he stopped. He wasn't concerned about the police brutality that was taking place as to why he asked Colin Kaepernick to stop taking a knee.
Right.
And Jeremy Hyman was like, that's selfish as hell, man.
It was selfish.
You're more concerned about your wife receiving a plastic trophy than the empowerment of your people, man.
Damn, that's heavy. That's heavy. You know, and that's crazy because I wanted to kind of touch on that a little bit, pause. You know, with Jay-Z being the selfish bastard that he was, when I heard the speech, even before General Hyman said anything about it, I immediately knew that he was being very, very selfish. He was being very pretentious in that moment. And I was like, this is how I know we one mind, one body, one spirit. And I pray I don't ever lose this spirit. Because it was right on time. And Jeremy Hyman got up there and said what he said. I was like, Most High Christ. Right on the money. I'm thinking like a priest, you know what I'm saying? And this is who I am, you know? So that was confirmation, you know? But anyhow, I knew that Jay-Z was a selfish bastard. I actually got a video of, which is so surreal. I had two videos queued up. One of Killer Mike, well, two of Killer Mike on the Bill Maher show. And one was 4 years ago. And they're actually talking about the exact thing that we're just talking about now with the whole Jay-Z killing Colin Kaepernick's, you know, mission, if you want to call it that, his revolution or his boycott, you know, and he was really drawing awareness to our people being brutalized and unalive at the hands of corrupt police officers. You know, that was what the whole thing was about. That's what the kneeling was about. It wasn't about nothing else. It wasn't about disrespecting the flag or the national anthem and all of this garbage and this toilet paper to me. But that wasn't what Kaepernick was doing. You know, he was just trying to bring awareness to what was actually happening to us on a macro level, you know, in our communities, you know, and it was a trending topic. Every week you look on the news and you see what? Another brother getting gunned down by the police, by law enforcement. You know, and Kaepernick, he literally put a spotlight on it. He used his influence, that's the spirit of brotherhood, man, because he laid his neck on the line for the sake of blacks and Hispanics that were getting unalived and brutalized by the police. He didn't have to do it. He could have just shut up and, you know, what they say, shut up and dribble. He could have just shut his mouth, got out there and stood like everybody else and turned a blind eye to what was going on. Colin Kaepernick didn't do that. That wasn't a selfish sacrifice there. That was a very selfless sacrifice that he did because he lost his damn job behind it. He lost his career behind it. And you know, in order to make it to the league, you've been putting a lot of hours in. You've been logging a lot of hours in the gym. You've been logging a lot of hours on the football field, man. So that in itself was like, man, that was he literally sacrificed himself for the sake of other brothers and sisters, man. And that was a very beautiful thing to see because he didn't have to do it, but he did it. And then you got a bastard, a wicked, evil bastard like Sean Corey Carter, who y'all know is Jay-Z, you know, get up there and join forces with the oppressor. He took Roger Goodell's money and said, to hell with what the hell Kaepernick is standing for, you know, and literally blew the flame out, you know, the flame of revolution, you know, and that was a good thing. It was a good thing for brothers and sisters to literally, because it was taking hold like wildfire. You see one player kneel, and then other players on his team start kneeling with him, and before you know it, you got other players on other teams kneeling. And I was like, oh, this is a beautiful thing. This right here is how, you know, social movement begins. This is how we can actually render real change in real time. All right. Then you got this wicked, evil bastard, man, who only gives a damn about his pockets. He only cares about his bank account. He don't care about what's happening in our communities. He prides himself on the drugs that he sold in the so-called Marcy projects, man. He said, "What? I came in this mother." He said, "I came in this motherfucker 900 strong." How it go? You know how it go. I know. Yeah, I came in this. Yeah. Anyhow, it's a very disgusting line. You know, it's very that braggadocio that he has. Yeah, 100 grand strong, not to be exact, from pushing G-packs. It was a hard line when I was in the world, but me being a priest, I look at that line and I'm disgusted by it. You know how much dope you had to be moving to have 900,000? Not 100,000. Who are you talking about? Almost $1 million. You know what you did to your community? That means you sold dope to, you know, you created a crackhead, man. You created fiends. You created literal zombies. And you know what they do. You know what our brothers and sisters that fall victim to, you know, that nose candy or, you know, that heroin or that crack or whatever. You know what they do. You know the evil that they do, the wickedness that they do. Every day is a quest for them to what? To get high. And they don't give a damn what they steal or who they steal it from or however they get it, they're going to get it. Just so, that's another selfish thing, to be a drug addict. That's a very, very selfish thing. You know, you're only concerned about how you feel. You're so engrossed with your feelings. It's a very disgusting thing, man. You know, for you to feed into killing your brother or your sister in that manner, man, it's very wicked, it's evil, it's vile, it's disgusting. And you did it so much so with your music. You promoting those, you buying into those racist tropes, those racist stereotypes of who we are. And that's the only way that you can be successful is by selling dope to your brother or your sister. Anyhow, those are the things that pollute us, man. And there's more of a reason for us to arise and depart. All right. Those are the things that are destroying blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. All right. And we're getting destroyed with a sword destruction because we won't listen to Commander General YAHANNA. You walk right by the priest on the street corner that's crying aloud and spare not. You tell us to get a job. You spit at us at camp. You say that we are a hate group. And we out here telling you what the prophets of old told the people. We out there standing on that podium of wood. We could be at home with our families, but we out here doing that selfless thing, you know, in the spirit of brotherhood, so that you can wake the hell up, so that you can arise ye and depart. Anyhow, man, is that it on that?
10, yes, sir. You can probably do yeah, that's it.
Yeah, drop that. I want to kind of pick apart this video real quick. Let's cue this video
I got
of
one comment.
Who that?
Triple Quadar says, notice how dry music promoted crime and drugs until it was time to stop blacks from protesting. Then it was good enough for me, Slocky. Then it was good enough for the family halftime show.
We talking about Dre. He said,
Dre.
Yeah, so
Bad,
Dr.
sloppy.
Dre, so Jay-Z won a Grammy. It wasn't a gold Grammy, it was a black Grammy, okay? And he was gifted that Grammy via Dr. Dre during the Grammys. So it was like some sort of achievement award, some sort of lifetime black achievement award that he won. And he right, man. I remember when what was it, Miss Dolores Tucker? She was out there protesting this gangster rap, man. It was Dolores Tucker? Who was the one that was out there? Yeah. And she was taking all the CDs, and they was having mass dumpings of the CDs, and they was stepping all on the CDs. You can go into Best Buy and buy CDs at that point in time. You know, the compact disc and all the tapes. Was it Gloria Tucker? Dolores. Yeah. Sister Dolores Tucker. She had the right spirit on her, man. She knew what that music was doing. She saw what that music was doing in her communities. And now we got drill music we got to deal with. You know, and that's why they calling the South Side of Chicago Chirac. You know, because of this music that our oppressor is putting a bag behind. Because he knows that other Negroes is going to get out there to get that bag. They're going to want to live that lifestyle. They're going to promote that evil and wickedness, man. You know? Where we at? It's a very disgusting thing. Yes, the Bill Maher Killer Mike one. Pull that one up. Yeah, give me Isaiah 9 and 18. I'm gonna talk about that real quick. You know, since we talking about drug dealers, Jay-Z, you know, Dr. Dre, you know, they promoted that that lifestyle, that negative stereotype, that racist trope. They promoted it. They got a bag behind it. They got paid for selling our people out by selling that poison, you know, that polluted our communities, that polluted our households. You know, that was one of the first things. I understand why my mom tried to keep us away from hip hop. Well, I couldn't listen to the damn radio growing up. And then my homeboy, David Robinson, came over there with an NWA tape. Then he brought the Chronic over there. So what now? It was over. It was a wrap. It was a wrap.
What are your feelings on the election coming up? I mean, Biden and Trump. Are you just depressed about that as most people as a choice?
My feeling is pick your policy, not your person. Find out. This is not the Dallas Cowboys versus your favorite team.
Pause on that. That's not the video. That is a video. That's the most recent video prior to him winning the Grammys. They went and they talked about the nominations, and he actually won the 3 Grammys. All right. But he's going in the vote, and I was going to talk about that later. It's the other video that's queued up. And this is talking about the whole Jay-Z joint and the whole Jay-Z Colin Kaepernick thing. You know? And this is the thing about what we promote in the I.S.U.P.K. We promote brotherhood, man. We promote us coming together, us not being separated. We're not promoting division like the Christian church, which is the reason why you got over 43,000 different denominations globally of Christendom or Christianity. No, we stand alone in the I.S.U.P.K. And by us standing alone, we're pushing one message, man, and that's that we are blood relatives, Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. You're God's chosen people. You can't be in some fake Israelite group and thinking that you're getting the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. Because I don't know what the hell they teaching. Who gives a damn what they teaching? All right? Let them keep teaching, because when they keep teaching, what it's going to do is just prove that we're right at the end of the damn day. All right? Don't waste your time going to any other fake Israelite group. All right? Officer Bankaya over 1,000 is letting you know you can waste your time dealing with them. Don't do it. Get into the I.S.U.P.K. All right. www.isupk.com. You can find out anything you need to know about our school, contrary to whatever they're saying about us on the street. You can come down here to 205 West Russell Street and sit in the classrooms. We don't bite. Nobody been lumped up since they came down here. Come down here in the right spirit, of course. You know, the spirit of brotherhood or the spirit of sisterhood. You don't have to find out, you know, that other side of brotherhood and sisterhood. All right. Yeah, run that. I think it was a very interesting dialogue that they had. And this was 4 years ago, mind you. All right.
So, all right, I got a million things I want to ask you. Let's just start with
fair
Jay-Z,
use,
because that's all in the news. Jay-Z has partnered with the NFL.
Yes.
I understand Robert Kraft is the one who brought them together.
Robert's got a lot of hip hop points the past couple of years.
Isn't that amazing?
Yeah,
he's an owner.
Got Meek free, got jerked off. All in line with rapper shit. You know you like that one.
Okay, so
no insult, though. I like
right.
Mr. Kraft.
But the internet is on Jay-Z, like Beyonce's sister in an elevator. I mean, because of course we had the Super Bowl, and Colin Kaepernick still doesn't have a job in the NFL, and there was a lot of pressure from a lot of people saying, "You artists, Maroon 5 played the gig, but they got shit for doing it." Some people stayed away. Some people are now saying that Jay-Z is giving NFL cover. Eric Reed, he's a Pro Bowler for the Panthers.
Hell of a player.
He said, it looks like your goal, talking to Jay-Z, was to make millions by assisting the NFL in burying Colin's career. I don't agree with that, but I want your take.
Being a Black American is a duality, right? And I navigated because I was raised in Atlanta. So in Atlanta, Super Bowl came last year. I stood up in one of the meetings and I raised hell about there not being a social climate involved. Meaning, I said at least you could have 12 kids shadow producers and learn how to produce a show. We have an arts and theater school that Outkast came out of, Tri-City. My school, Frederick Douglass High School, arts program. I was like, as simple as that, you can do that.
Now he's gonna go on this random diatribe, this random tangent, you know, about himself. This is the thing about evil men. They always talk about themselves and what they've accomplished. And yeah, it's a real simple question. All he had to do was answer the question. But he goes on this long monologue about, you know, what he thinks with respect to, you know, what he's accomplished himself in his own sight. You know, you know, and he honors himself, you know, which is a very wicked and evil thing. We don't honor ourselves in here, man. We always esteem the next brother. You know, we say most high in Christ. You should learn that. Put that in your vocabulary. Give credit where credit is due at any given time. Anything good happens, it ain't had nothing to do with you. It had everything to do with the most high power, man. All right. Continue playing it.
Right? I saw how our communities got decimated when Major League Baseball kind of pulled out years ago. They found another genetic pool down in the Dominican Republic they could get much cheaper, right?
Are we still talking about Jay-Z?
Yeah, we are.
Kind of deflect because, you know, he was speaking truth there. He was speaking facts there. You know, you go from one gene pool to the next, or from one resource, you exhaust those resources, then you find the next resource. And, you know, you starved a brother something serious down in the Dominican Republic. Go ahead, brother.
And another thing, I don't like how these black rappers, black entertainers are so-called leaders. They get around the so-called white man. They get real cheeky.
Yes.
They get real, you know, coony. Yeah, he talking about some jerking off. He never would have said that on no black podcast. Who even says jerking off? Who talks like that? He's sitting here. Look at his face. He's happy to be in a white man's presence right now. He's elated. Just look at him. I ain't never seen a Negro that happy to be in Bill Maher's face.
You think he made it?
Yeah, Killer Mike's on the lighter side of rap, but he's giving off a lot of, you know, happy energy, and we're oppressed.
Right.
You understand? It's ridiculous. Look how happy he is.
Because what we're really talking about is sports plantations and what fuels them, right? So the NFL is fueled by talent from black kids and poor and working class white kids that make good. Jay-Z has been a capitalist his entire career and a celebrated one because he was one of us that made it out the streets, made it in the rooms, and he did what he could when he should. When the Grammys did not.
He did what he could when he should. Meaning what? Sold up to your brother or your sister?
He's caping. He's shooting Jay-Z some bail right now because he wants to do a feature with him. He's not, Killer Mike is just like a pastor. He talks like a pimp, he fast talking slickster from Atlanta, Georgia. Type of Negro to, you know, sell you a lemon cutlass, and they told you he just replaced a new motor in it. He's a slickster. He's shooting Jay-Z some bail right now because he's on TV. He don't want to ruin that relationship. You know, Hollywood's all about relationships. The music business is all about relationships. He don't want to say that thing to get some blackball. You know what not to say. He's playing it real safe right now.
Right.
You know, he's doing a little pandering.
Show the hip hop portion, Jay-Z boycotted. I know because I boycotted that same year. Only Grammy I ever won. I was sad as hell after.
And so it's crazy because in Jay-Z's speech, he talks about how, you know, he kind of made light of the Fresh Prince of Will Smith and DJ Jazzy Jeff. You know, they got slighted for a Grammy, so they boycotted the Grammy or what have you. But they said they watched it from a hotel room. Jay-Z said the same thing. He said he boycotted it, but then, you know, he kind of made light and said, I still watched it. So it's not technically a boycott if you watched it, right? Which is basically what he's saying right now. He's a hypocrite, man. These are absolute hypocrites that, you know, the oppressor has propped up for us to follow. You know, somebody that's willing to compromise their integrity for the sake of what? Gain? For the sake of being accepted? Go ahead.
I stood in solidarity. Jay-Z's play, I believe, not only gives us a seat at the table, young people, young Black America, it doesn't destroy what Cap knelt for. What he knelt for.
A seat at what table? A seat at what table? You want to sit at Massa's table, man. He want to sit at Massa's table. Go ahead.
Was that that he wants to keep? They keep saying a seat at the table, and like I said, that table is what you say is Massa's table. It's not, you know, Israelites' table. It ain't the table the Lord saying will prepare for us in front of our enemies.
That's right.
He's talking about the white man's table. Like he wants to move in their neighborhoods.
Right.
He wants to make Atlanta just like it's ridiculous.
He wants to be like that. What, the Canaanite woman?
Yeah.
Crumbs from the Massa's table.
Yeah. He said it gives us a seat at the. Why would you want to even sit at the table? They put raisins in the goddamn potato salad.
He want to be Django.
There's no rhythm to the table. Yeah, Django, Stephen.
Right.
And so, like I was about to say, the Lord, the Most High sees it. He tells us and shows us an example of how we should look at them. They shouldn't even be at our table. You understand? We're trying to join a table, you know, to be with them. The Most High said, "No, they get the crumbs. He don't even consider them even good enough to be at the table. Here we are trying to join the oppressor."
You right, Officer Zion too, and that fast talking slick stuff. He wants to see the table and all this Jay-Z nonsense. You know, they're making, you know, this whole Hollywood thing seem like that's the pinnacle. Getting this Grammy, getting a seat at the table. Like we're satisfied with, like, how soon we forget about oppression and slavery and crack cocaine and Michael Brown and Sandra Bland and police brutality. Oh, all you gotta do is give you a Grammy. You lighten up, Killer Mike. Come sit at the table with us. Don't create. That's why I like Cameron in them show. It is what it is. Cameron and May said, man, bump that. We're gonna do our own sports show. We don't need ESPN. We don't need none of these people. We get syndicated by ourselves. We can start not syndicated. We can start our own internet sports show and get paid talking how we want to talk, like barbershop talk. They even reached out to OJ.
Good night.
And so it's like just black people realize that we are the power. We are the salt of the earth. We don't need them. We have all the necessary tools, all the swag, all the gifts to, you know, do this thing right by ourselves. We don't need them. Killer Mike is that he's always going to try to bridge the gap between the white and the black. He's Martin Luther King with a Grammy. That's all he is.
Damn right. Get that brother in hand. He right. Yeah, you can go ahead and play.
Was proper treatment of us by state agents, but police. That does not end with him getting a job. The same way him kneeling is not an insult to the military. It is as an American asserting your First Amendment rights, saying something is wrong. So on both sides of this polarized issue that we're giving, to narrow these wide issues and giving this narrow frame to argue, like Chomsky said, we shouldn't do that. Look for the tertiary agreements. I believe that if Jay-Z becomes his team owner, Cap gets a tryout.
Yeah, well, okay. Well, I won't read this whole quote, but the quote is basically
it's crazy because yeah, he's like, you know, he believes like him getting a job is more important than brothers and sisters getting unalived in Black Hispanic communities. The whole point of the protest was to draw awareness to that and to stop it from happening. Cap didn't give a damn about his job at that point in time. He sacrificed his job for the sake of, you know, saving brothers and sisters' lives. He didn't give a damn about no workout. That was just after the fact, man. You know, and it's like you trying to compare apples to oranges right now. Jay-Z did all that so he can get a workout. That's not guaranteeing him a job. It's a workout. It's disgusting, man. It's absolutely disgusting. You can play the rest of that.
saying time for action.
Yes.
And to me, it sounds like he's been talking to Obama.
No.
You know, Jay-Z has. No. Because this is Obama to me. Let's do something real. Let's get something done. Let's not let the perfect be the enemy of the good.
But the African-American community would argue that Obama didn't do that. There are elements, the same elements that would argue that Jay-Z is betraying. There's an element to argue out of African-American community that's not very pleased with Obama. Now, I'm not here to castigate. I'm just simply saying we are not monolithic. No. We have different views. And around Jay-Z, there was a mayor in Atlanta named Maynard Jackson. When he took mayoralship, this is what he said. We're going to have a seat at this table. So 29% of any contract that comes across the city has to be African-American participating and owned. He couldn't find one African-American architecture firm at that time. So you know what he did? Hired Black contractors to build the runways. He said, if you can build a driveway, you can build a runway. So although he couldn't include us in architecture, he got Black companies like the Herman Russell Company working to build Fulton County Stadium, to build that. And that's what Jay's doing. And with that said, I'm a huge supporter of Kaepernick.
All right.
You know, yeah, he's annoying, man. And the fact that he got a partnership with a devil as a rapper and with the Run the Jewels, you know, I honestly ain't really listening to his music. See, I would never be an African. All right, drop that.
Got some
Give
comments.
me.
Obsiah thought said $1 Million Slaves.
Most High Christ.
Triple Kodar said, so when the white man said, I don't agree, neither do I, boss. Right. We sick.
Oh, yeah, my brother's in the class with me tonight, man. Give yourselves a hand, man. All right, brother. If you can't give me the book of Proverbs, chapter 24, verse 1. Proverbs 24 and 1.
This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 24, verse 1. Be not thou envious against evil men.
So when you think about an evil man, the word evil just means what? Morally bad or wicked, right? How are morals established? In here, we know that morals are established through keeping God's law, statutes, and commandments. All right, but what are the morals that Killer Mike has in his house? Because he eats pork, shrimp, crab, and lobster. Look at him. You know he smoked weed. He just talked about it. You know he's a lascivious freak. He just talked about whacking off. All right. It's a morally wicked and evil man. All right. And he's on this platform on HBO sitting next to a devil. Bill Maher is a so-called little hat. All right. Who is the devil that the Bible speaks of. All right. And I don't give a damn how many black women he dates. He will always forever be that. I don't care how many rappers he pulls on his show. He still is the enemy. All right. He still is an oppressor. All right. If you Black, Hispanic, or Native Indian, you can't look at men like Killer Mike or wicked and evil, vile, disgusting men like Jay-Z and be envious of them. Okay. Those men did exactly what the oppressor did in them establishing America. All right. They took indecent liberties with women. The big R word. It rhymes with tape. Okay. And they rob people. All right? And then they unalive people through their messages, through their music, in their past lives. Okay? You weren't promoting life when you were selling dope in Marcy. You weren't promoting life when you repped about it in Reasonable Doubt. You talk about Memphis Bleak. What was the name of that song? No, that was Coming of Age was his album. It's Time to Come Up on Reasonable Doubt, where it's the dialogue between him recognizing a young hustler on his block. You remember that joint? Yeah, I remember that. Man, it's just I think about it now and it's like, man, this is crazy. So now you're going into grooming a brother from the neighborhood. You're grooming him to be wicked and evil like you. No, Coming of Age, I think, was Myth Bleak album. Oh, is it? I thought it was It's Time to Come Up. I'm tripping. I know that was on the hook, though. Yeah, it's on Reasonable Doubt. Anyhow, whatever. We know too much about this bastard's music, okay? No, it's on Reasonable Doubt. It's between him and Memphis Bleak, where they go back and forth. They volleying back and forth.
Okay.
Yeah.
I thought this is the sequel. Coming of Age or Reasonable Doubt was
Yeah, it's all good. Don't even worry about it. We cannot be envious against these evil men. Coming of Age. Yeah, that was a disgusting song, man. Yeah, he put the young man on the hustling. I think that's where that whole conversation came from, where it's like, would you rather take $500,000 or have dinner with Jay-Z?
Right. That's the premise. Not taking, he was dialogue with Jay.
Right.
Like he's getting all this game.
Right. Read that again, Trooper Daraj.
It's the book of Proverbs, chapter 24, verse 1. Be not thou envious against evil men.
Right.
Neither desire to be with them.
So we look and we see Killer Mike and Jay-Z and Dr. Dre on the big screen, all right? And it's like, damn, they've made it. They've arrived in this empire. They've arrived in America. They have everything. They're rich, they're famous, right? But when you look a little deeper and you look into their lives and the messages and the behaviors, their actions, the things that they do, things that they say, the way in which they treat other brothers and sisters, man. These men are wicked. These men are evil. The Bible is telling you not to envy them. Don't look at what they have as you want it for yourself, all right? That's having a covetous spirit, wanting the things that they have, all right? You think about how they got to where they are, how many lives were destroyed in order for them to be on these platforms, all right? Keep reading. Nor desire to be with them. All right, keep reading.
Verse 2. For their hearts studieth destruction.
The heart. Your heart is synonymous with your mind. Their minds, they study what?
Heart studieth destruction.
No, it said peace.
Studieth destruction.
It says benevolence.
Studieth destruction.
No, it says brotherhood.
Studieth destruction.
Their minds study destruction. That's why he knows the ins and outs to the dope game. And they talk about the rap game correlating to how the dope game is. And then you think about Killer Mike, he sounds so intelligent, but he's studying destruction. He's studying the ways of the oppressor chiefly. He's telling you to go vote. He knows how the oppressor moves money and the power of influence. He's seen it firsthand. He prides himself on growing up in an all-black community where the only white people he saw was on PBS and his mother watching Dan Rather on the news at night. But yet and still, he still desired to be a damn drug dealer. Right. Growing up with all that black influence. This is before integration. All right? Anyhow, their minds study destruction. Keep reading.
And their lips talk of mischief.
What is mischief? What is mischief? Give me the definition of mischief. Because that's all I heard when I heard Jay-Z's speech last night.
The definition of mischief.
You got it?
Oh, Salaki, I got it. It's the definition of mischief. Merriam-Webster's definition of mischief.
Most High in Christ.
A specific injury or damage attributed to a particular agent, a cause or source of harm, evil, or irritation.
Right. So Jay-Z was speaking on a personal ill. He felt like his wife had been slighted from not getting, the Grammy. She's got the most Grammys out of most singers, R&B singers or whatever, or what have you. But he got mad because she didn't get, some dumb Grammy for some stupid reason, man. He made the whole show about him and his wife, whereas we talk about representation, in those white spaces. Why are we striving to be in those spaces? Who said that the Grammys was it? That's it here in this empire. But we got to place our mind on exalted things. What's greater than the Grammy? Those Grammys ain't nothing, man. You think about they're promoting this philosophy of white supremacy because they want you to strive to get the Grammys that the so-called oppressor is handing them because they've compromised, because they sold drugs, because they've, turned our daughters into whores. They're whoremongers. You think about what's happening with Diddy. Diddy's real goddamn quiet right now. Right. Yeah, who's close to Diddy? Who's Diddy's right-hand man? Jigga. Well, y'all call him Hova. He ain't Hova nothing. Jay-Z is one of his closest friends. They say birds of a feather flock together, right? Keep reading.
Verse 3.
Their lips talk of mischief. Them Killer Mike promoting, telling you, close your eyes and don't look at the politician. Just listen to their policy. Listen to their policy. That's crazy. Don't worry about what they look like. It's almost like the wolf in sheep's clothing. If you could see that there was an actual wolf, right? You wouldn't listen to nothing he got to say if you're a sheep. Because good and damn well he's hungry. And you're food to him. This is like the iron that rusteth. The Bible talks about us never trusting our enemy. Never trust thine enemy is what the Bible says. But Killer Mike's telling you to close your eyes and to listen to the lies that are coming out of the mouth of these devils and to believe in their policies, man. He just said it. Did we show the other video? The first one.
No, you said, wait a second.
Yeah, show the first one. This is the more recent one. That was from 4 years ago, all right? And they're talking on something that is still currently trending. Because you think about what Jay-Z did, it was a disgusting thing to betray your brother, man. You'll always be remembered for something disgusting like that. That'll never be forgotten. That he diffused that whole movement that Colin Kaepernick so selflessly, put his neck on the line for other brothers and sisters, man. And Jay-Z, with his disgusting behind, all he did was get a bag, and use his platform, use his power of influence to disgrace whatever Kaepernick was trying to establish, which was true brotherhood, true sisterhood. That's what the Lord requires of us, is to make that selfless sacrifice and to not be selfish like Jay-Z, all right? And not be selfish like Killer Mike or whatever the hell his name is. Yeah, this is the other video. Yeah.
This is the policies that will affect.
What are your feelings on the election coming up? I mean, Biden and Trump. Are you as depressed about that as most people as a choice?
My feeling is pick your policy, not your person. Find out. This is not the Dallas Cowboys versus your favorite team. This is the policies that will affect our generations for the next 20, 30, 40 years to come. So close your eyes, listen to the policies that are being pushed, and pay attention even to the people who don't have a chance of winning, because they're going to say policies you may want to push. And I would say do that, but make it policy based.
So that means you're for.
That means I'm for Black people and happy Black History Month.
But you're not saying one candidate over the other?
Hey man, my nigga, you ain't gonna get me in no trouble tonight.
Good.
No, that's your job with me, to get me in trouble.
My grandfather gave me some stellar advice sometimes. He said, son, sometimes you just got to know to stay out of white folks' business. And this time, I'm going to keep my mouth closed. I still like the policy that the old man had that I was supporting. I would encourage people to find who's supporting that policy and see what happens.
You can't get yourself to say vote for Biden over Trump?
You want me to list it now? So now
I'm just saying that.
Can he get himself to apologize for the crime bill? Can he get himself to get his head out of his ass and say, Black people, you are Black regardless. I need you to tell me what I need to do. Can he pick a coalition of former people who are affected by drug laws, street gangs?
So he's touching on some real. You can't tell me that these rappers ain't listening to the UPK, man. He's touching on some real hot topics. When he talked about Joe Biden authoring the 94 crime bill, which led to what? Mass incarceration of Black and brown, right? What else did he talk about? What else is he speaking about right now? He said, if you ain't Black if you don't vote for me. That's what he said, right? That's what Joe Biden said. That's what Sleepy Joe said, right? Moneybag Joe said that about the Black vote, all right? This is what he's talking about right now, all right? But don't get lost in the sauce, man. You know, these are smooth words that Killer Mike is speaking right now. He's talking about he's for the Black cause. He's not at all, because he's for Black-white coalition. This is how he makes his money. All right. Anyhow, keep playing the video.
Recidivism and crime, and say, I need you as a board to advise me how to fix federal prisons. If he can do that, absolutely I can. So my challenge is out there.
All right.
All right. So he's promoting you to put your faith and your hopes in this system of voting. All right. He wants you to believe in democracy. He wants you to believe in the Constitution, you know, that you have these inalienable rights, you know, secured by the Bill of Rights. Go ahead, brother.
Officer Ayathon said they get all the money in the world, and slave masters showed them, I'll reward you when I want you to have a reward.
Damn right. He's right. He's absolutely right. You know, shout out to Officer Ayathon, man. Keep reading that verse in Proverbs, brother. Baba Kusha.
Verse 3. Through wisdom is a house builded, and by understanding it is established.
Through wisdom is a house builded, right? And by understanding it is established. What does that mean? You think about wisdom. What is wisdom? What is wisdom according to Scripture? What is wisdom?
God's word, the commandments.
Okay, you got a precept for that? You say God's word, the commandments. I'll take it. I'll take that. I'll take that. That's a good response. All right, but we know that wisdom is what? What's another word for wisdom? What's another word for wisdom? What does wisdom mean? If you're wise, you have what?
Wisdom.
Who? If you have wisdom, right? When you think about the stock market, right? I say, oh, you're very wise when it comes down to the stock market. What will make you wise about the stock market?
Knowledgeable.
You're knowledgeable. You understand it, right?
Okay.
Whereas to me, I don't understand a damn thing about the stock market. I understand pump and dump. That's what I understand, right? So when it comes down to true wisdom, where is true wisdom found?
In the I.S.U.P.K.
But why? Why is it found in the I.S.U.P.K? Where do we find it?
We find it here in this Bible.
Most High in Christ. I'll take that. I'll take that. But specifically through what? The law, statutes,
the law, statutes, and the commandments of the
Damn
Most
right.
High.
Give yourself a hand, man. Most High in Christ. Through the law, statutes, and commandments, right? All right. And you would need that wisdom in order to build a house. All right. And it says, and by understanding it is established. That house is established through that wisdom and that knowledge and that understanding, right? Keep reading.
Verse 4. And by knowledge shall the chambers be filled with all precious and pleasant riches.
That's right. We think about Solomon, who was he gained wisdom through a request. That's what he sought from the Most High power. And the Most High gave him that wisdom. And through that wisdom, he established his house. He got all those precious and pleasant riches, okay, from the wisdom, from him having understanding about simple things like not to eat pork, shrimp, crab, and lobster. Real simple things like gaining the Lord's favor by not putting a Christmas tree in your house on Christmas, or not buying Easter baskets for your children on Easter, not even going to the church on Easter Sunday, or any Sunday, or any Saturday, completely rejecting it because you understand that it is polluted. That would be showing that you are wise. That's showing that you have understanding. All right. Keep reading.
Verse 5. A wise man is strong.
A wise man is T.D. Jakes.
A wise man is strong.
A wise man is Creflo Dollar.
A wise man is strong.
A wise man is Tyler Perry.
A wise man is strong.
A wise man is Zion Ya'Allah.
A wise man is strong.
Oh, you're supposed to keep reading.
Yeah.
Damn right. Officer Zion Ya'Allah is a wise man. He is strong. He's the reason why I'm in here. Officer Kowal is in here. Are you in here? Is he not the camp leader? Most High in Christ. A wise man is strong, right? What does that word strong mean? Just it's the opposite of weak, right? Right. Keep reading.
Yeah. A man of knowledge increaseth strength.
A man of knowledge, a man of understanding, a man of wisdom increases strength, right? Keep reading.
Verse 6. For by wise counsel thou shalt make thy war, and in multitude of counselors there is safety.
Yeah, for by wise counsel thou shalt make thy war, and in a multitude of counselors there is safety. So you got 1,001 people giving you counsel, right? Where do we seek counsel here? We get counsel from not the world. We don't get counsel from Killer Mike and from Jay-Z and from Dr. Dre or from T.D. Jakes or from Creflo Dollar or from Tyler Perry. We don't get counsel from none of them fools. We get counsel from what? Commander General YAHANNA, right. From General Hyman, right? We get counsel from all the camp leaders. That's where we get our Captain I.S.U.P.K. That's where we get our counsel from. And what separates them from the men that I mentioned before? From those evil, wicked men.
Salakia, sir. Those brothers have knowledge and wisdom and are strong. Sir.
Through what?
Through the law, statutes, and the commandments.
Give yourself a hand. Damn right. That's what sets them apart. The fact that they understand the tenets of brotherhood and it being synonymous with sisterhood. The fact that they're not sellouts like Jay-Z. They're not going to sell you up the river for a bag when you're standing on brotherhood. They're going to recognize what you're doing, and they're going to fall in line. Like they recognized what Commander General YAHANNA was doing, and they fell in line. You know? Keep reading.
For verse 6, for by wise counsel thou shalt make thy war, and in multitude of counselors there is safety.
That's right, man. Before we make a move on anything, you seek counsel. Before I make any life decision, I'm gonna send it on up. I'm gonna seek counsel. You know, I'm gonna get official counsel. But just reaching out to a brother, a like-minded brother, a brother that's in the I.S.U.P.K. Reach out to your camp leader. Okay, reach out to the captain over your zone. Request a counsel from the general over your zone. All right, that's seeking wise counsel. Before you decide to go to war, before you decide to be at variance with anything, you go seek counsel, man. So you can get the instructions from a very wise place, a very wise, righteous place. All right. And they're going to instruct you on what to do and the correct way so that you can be successful in this war. You can be successful in whatever it is that you're setting out to do. Keep reading.
Verse 7. Wisdom is too high for a fool.
Yeah, we can't teach wisdom to Killer Mike. He don't want to hear about these laws, statutes, and commandments. You can't teach wisdom to Jay-Z. He thinks that financial freedom is our only hope. He got too much mammon. He's a fool. Salakia. He's a fool. He's devoid of wisdom. He's devoid of true understanding, man. All right? Keep reading.
He openeth not his mouth in the gate.
Right. In here, Jay-Z wouldn't be able to say a damn thing. He wouldn't be able to teach a class. He's not authorized. He is a fool to us in here, only because we have wisdom and understanding through these laws, statutes, and commandments. Killer Mike, he wouldn't be able to speak in here. He wouldn't be able to speak in the gate.
Right.
He ain't authorized, man. Not like how you're going through your authorization now. Pretty soon you're gonna be able to speak in the gate. Every brother that passed the officer's test is authorized to speak in the gate because we know what to say. We know what not to say. Keep reading.
Verse 8. He that deviseth to do evil shall be called a mischievous person.
He that deviseth to do evil or wickedness, right? Shall be called a what?
Mischievous person.
And what did we say that word mischief was? You think of mischief or to be mischievous. The root of that is mischief, right? You've been debased by mischief. And what is mischief again?
To a cause or source of harm, evil, or irritation.
Right. Believing in that money, believing in that voting system, believing in that devil Bill Maher who put you on this platform because you obviously are promoting his cause. It's something that you're doing. There's a reason why he got you on the show. It's not because you're against him and his evil, wicked ways. It's because you're for him. All right? Keep reading.
Verse 9. The thought of foolishness is sin.
The thought of foolishness is sin. You shouldn't even think it. This is how I know you have control over your thoughts. Because before you can actually perform a sin, it's a thought. That thing, that wicked, evil, vile, disgusting thing, before it becomes an action, it's a thought.
Right.
We talk about mind over matter now. So there is no excuse for sin at all. If you sin, you're weak. If you sin, you chose that. You chose to do that wicked and evil thing. Read it again.
Verse 9. The thought of foolishness is sin.
What the hell is foolishness? What is foolishness?
Slaki,
yeah, we get to it.
Sister Summer said, is it knowledge?
What knowledge? I think that's it's 8:48.
Oh, Slaki.
No, that's 8:54
earlier.
now. That was earlier. Yeah, we're talking about wisdom. That's probably what she said. Is it knowledge? And yeah, wisdom is knowledge. The knowledge of what, though? The knowledge of keeping God's laws, statutes, and commandments. Point blank, period. That's it. That's all you really need to learn. That's all you really need to know. Everything else is trivial.
Salaki, sir, I got the definition of foolishness.
Right.
This is the Google definition of foolishness. Lack of good sense of judgment.
Damn, good sense of judgment. But they say only God can judge me. They say, oh, don't judge. The Christian quick to tell you don't judge. Don't judge. Don't judge me. Don't judge. But it said foolishness is what?
Lack of good sense or judgment.
Lack of good sense or lack of judgment is foolishness. You a goddamn fool if you tell me not to judge. That's what foolishness is. That's the definition of foolishness, is it not? Read it again.
Lack of good sense or judgment / stupidity.
Lack of good sense, lack of judgment. So it is totally appropriate for me to judge. Is that what that definition is saying? I'm going to be the opposite of foolishness. And the opposite of foolishness is what? Wisdom. Being wise, right? Keep reading. The thought of foolishness is sin, is what the Bible says. Sin is transgression of what?
The law.
The law. Not man's law, but God's law. Keep reading.
Verse 10. If thou faint in the day of
No, you said, and the scorner is what?
Salakia. And the scorner is an abomination to them.
What's a scorner? Scorners are the ones that are the hecklers that come up against our camps. That's a scorner. Scorner is the one that tells you, oh, that's the Old Testament. You ain't gotta keep them laws. But my Bible tells me to remember the days of old. And the men that lived in those days of old, they kept the laws. They didn't disregard them. They weren't living in the New Testament then. They were establishing their houses, man. They were being established by the laws, statutes, and commandments through good judgment, through having wisdom, through having understanding, man, which is what we lack right now because we stuck in the Christian church. We stuck in the Muslim mosque. We much rather smoke weed and pop pills and do everything, pursuing our desire to feel good, pursuing our happiness, instead of us pursuing what makes the Lord happy. Keep reading, brother.
Salakia, sir. I actually have the definition of scorn.
Go ahead. You can read that.
Open dislike or disrespect or mockery, often mixed with indignation.
Yeah, we get mocked. They call us Power Rangers. They say, get a job. Nigga, we got jobs. That's a lot, yeah. But our job is what we're doing on that street corner. We look at our jobs as slaveries. We look at our jobs as bondage, man. I'd much rather just be teaching 24/7. I'd much rather be devoting all my time and energy into raising up brothers and sisters, man, out of this world, instead of going to a slavery, working a 9 to 5. Right. Those are scorners. Your mama telling you that she'd much rather you do something else with your time when all you're doing is learning about the Lord. You actually blew the dust off this Bible and actually started reading it. And not just reading it, you start practically applying what you're reading to your life. And you become a new creature. So your own damn mama can't recognize you. That's the beauty of coming in here and changing your life. I know who does recognize you. The Most High Power formed you in the womb. Right. He recognizes you now. Now you got that covering that he recognizes. All right? And with that, it's priest office of 1,000 Bakayal. This is the I.S.U.P.K. coming out of 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commanding General YAHANNA. If you're not in the I.S.U.P.K, you are not in the truth, man. The I.S.U.P.K, we stand alone, all right? Come in here, get in class, learn to keep God's law, statutes, and commandments. If you so-called Black, Hispanic, or Native Indian, I'm going to pass the class off to Priest and Officer of 1,000, Kawal Yahawada, to read the security announcements.
I.S.U.P.K security announcements. We're the I.S.U.P.K, start at 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York. New rule for brother and sister. When a new brother and sister comes to the school, they're off limits for 6 months. They're to be saluted only. They're here to share themselves with the world. If they need transportation, the teacher will arrange it. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or sister. There's another 6 months in which the brother and sister will court each other. After 6 months period, the brother and sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithes, which is a commandment. You can find this in Numbers 18:21, Malachi 3:8-10. These 10th in Hebrew is pronounced ma'ashra. 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord gives you, give the treasury department or teacher. Priest fund, free will offer for priests, not mandatory. Whatsoever amount you like. Upcoming holy convocations, Feast of Purim. All right, it's the 14th to 15th day of the 12th month. This year is the 22nd and the February 22nd. All right, and the 23rd, which is going to be on Thursday, Friday. You can find this in the book of Esther, 9, chapter chapter 9, 10 through 31. Also, it's going to be here in North Carolina. Commander YAHANNA is coming down. It's going to be in Charlotte. Open is going to be in South Carolina. Then in Charlotte, we're going to do a big for the Most High in Christ. Also, too, the Lord's annual 55th Passover is going to be held in Durham, North Carolina. Get your affairs in order. Go to www.I.S.U.P.K.com. Pay a Passover fee, all right? You transportation issues, contact a camp leader. Also, today is Monday. Well, make sure you log into YouTube, Facebook, and watch Commander YAHANNA's America on Fire. Like,
Right.
share, subscribe, thumbs up, share the class, share the podcast, all right? If anybody wants to be a trooper in the school, start wearing all black, boots, shirt, pants, headband, and scarf with that imadium. Men of Israel, we're going to render one curse salute to the teacher. Men of Israel, Ma'at Shabbat. Yahweh so our time for his sisters. Men of Israel, we're going to win the one curse salute to the sisters. Men of Israel, Ma'at Shabbat. Yahweh class is dismissed.
Yeah. What I'm saying.